can we start with a thought on the road trip now that you've had a day or two to kind of digest it? How do you feel about getting the 5 points?
We should be very happy. We went 4-1-1 in our last 6, and we were everywhere. Edmonton, Seattle, all the way to the East Coast, Boston, and a lot of trips. And we were 4-1-1. I don't think it was our best hockey. I think our goaltending played really well, but I think through that stretch, to say that those 6 games with all the travel and games in that short of time that we had that success, we should be pretty happy with it. But we want to build on that.
Kris, how much do you think being at home will help the new guys kind of amalgamate with the group as opposed to catching up with the team on the road like they had to?
I think catching up on the road is a perfect time to be, just because everyone's the players that are here have their lives, they've got their families, and when they're away from the rink, they run home and they see their families, of course. But when you're on the road, I think that's a perfect time for them to join the team, just because of they go for dinner together and they spend a little more time at the rink just hanging out. So I think the way they got to know everyone, I think it was good. And now for them just getting comfortable playing here in this rink, I think the energy, and I think they'll feel really excited about it. It'll be nice to see what they give us tomorrow.
There's a time this year when the idea of winning a division might have been completely crazy, but is it something that should be a goal of your guys? Is it something that's a stated goal of yours as a group?
I don't think we're talking about finishing first or second or third, but just winning as many games as possible. And, there's so many things out of our control. We don't know what Vancouver's going to do. We don't know how they're going to finish the season, how many wins they're going to do, but we have a pretty good idea how many games we can win. And if we win as many as we think we can, it gives us an opportunity that possibly that's a opportunity for us. But I think right now we're focused on how we're going to play better hockey, win more games, and if things happen to fall, that we have that opportunity. But I don't think it's something we're talking about right now.
What about how you're going to employ guys here, Kris, down the stretch for you, having more bodies and more depth here moving forward?
It is a luxury for us coaching staff to have some opportunities to have extra guys, and we were pretty fortunate to only have 6 defensemen there for a while, and nothing happened, and hopefully nothing does happen. But we feel that we've got a little more depth, that if somebody is banged up, that we can make some changes, whether it's the back end or forward. But right now I think we're trying to find out what's best for our team, line combinations, and I think we've got obviously 22 players, but we got 2 guys that aren't playing every night. But I think they can be in the lineup, and I think they can be contributing. But I guess that's what happens when you have a good team and a lot of depth, that you've got a good player sitting on the outside. But I think there'll be a lot of guys coming in and out of the lineup for the rest of the regular season.
This 4-1-1 stretch, good for the team, not good for the power play. Can you tell me the balance of trying to get your power play going, but a team that can win when their power play is not going?
Yeah, as a power play, you've got to find a balance on playing with structure and finding playing with intuition. And I think right now we're letting not having enough structure. Last game against Pittsburgh, I thought we did. I thought we had some really good looks. I thought we had opportunities to score, but they didn't go in. And obviously, you're going to go through stretches where, frankly, the power play doesn't look that good, and it just finds a way to get into the back of the net. Right now, it's definitely not firing on cylinders. It can be better, but there's some bad luck. I know the game, one of those games on the road, not Pittsburgh, but I know there was a couple goalposts. I think that was the Buffalo game. Connor hit one, Leon hit one. I think Bush had another one. So, those are a quarter of an inch on the other side of that post. We're probably talking about how good the power play is. And I don't know. Yeah, I think there's been some unluckiness, but I also think there can be a little more execution and structure.
Kris, you faced Crosby twice in a week. Now you get Ovechkin tonight. I just want a thought on the two and just how they're still playing at a high level and kind of how they came up together and what they meant to the league.
Well, it's remarkable for any player to come into the NHL and become one of the best is quite a feat. And now to be doing it for 20 years, that's that's something else. And for us, it's always exciting for the fans to see a player like that, but it's also exciting for our team, especially the younger players who haven't had the opportunity to line up and play against them. I know one of my first games on an NHL bench as an assistant, and we were playing Washington early in the season. I remember seeing him on the ice, and I was a little excited just to see what he was going to provide and see what his game was about, because obviously you see it different at ice level than you do on TV. And I think it's pretty special for those younger guys that haven't played against them that much.
Are you willing to share what your plan is in net tomorrow night?
Yes, Stu's going to play.
On the conversation of goaltenders, like the quality you're getting from Calvin, I imagine the conversation, you feel like both guys are able to get you some wins right now. It's not necessarily just about Skinner's schedule and his rest, but the other guy can get you some wins here.
Absolutely. We look at our schedule this last road trip, and absolutely could have had Skinner play an extra game. Most teams with the starter schedule, they wouldn't play their backup as often as we did. But I think it's easier for us, for the coaches, to make a decision on who starts when you've got two guys playing well. You can, obviously we're thinking about who gives us the best opportunity to win that night, but we're also thinking long term on keeping your guys fresh, and especially your starter. So Calvin playing the way he is, it makes it a lot easier for the coaches, but also for the team.
It's a little bit bizarre in that you've had Troy Stecher as part of the team for a few days, but his first full practice. How did you kind of assess that and kind of the oddness of that?
Yeah, I don't know Troy very well. Our scouting staff does. I've seen him on the ice now a couple times, and the more I see him, the more I'm going to get familiar with him and comfortable. I know that if we need him to go in the lineup, he's going to provide something, and he's going to be a good addition. And I think his strengths are, he is very competitive. He is smaller, but he does move well, and he is competitive, and he will fight and get those loose pucks. And I haven't seen that in game, but I know that's been a big scouting report on him. And now the other thing is how well he moves the puck, and you can never have enough defensemen who can make that first pass and provide a little offense, get involved in the rush, and he'll provide that. He's not going to play tomorrow, but we do plan on getting him in the lineup very quickly, and we're looking forward to seeing what he provides in a game for us.
When he goes in, 6 or 7, do you think?
We haven't decided that. We haven't decided that. We'll see. There might be somebody banged up. There might be. We'll decide that later.
Kris, you had a really busy schedule here over the last little while. This week's a little less, not as busy, not as much travel, obviously, being at home. Is this kind of week here come at the right time for you, just to maybe get a little bit more rest?
Absolutely. After you play 6 and 9, you want a breather, and I think we give us a little breather. It's, yesterday being a day off, today being a practice play, and then we got another 2 days of practice time if we choose to before we play again on Saturday. So I think it's a good reset for us, and we're running out of time in our season. There's only about 5.5 weeks left, 19 games, I believe. So we're kind of getting ready for that last push.